I have been visiting Boracay for the last 30 years. Today I'm reminded of the many reasons why this side of the island keeps drawing me back. The calming sea, the white, powdery beach, the turquoise blue water, the sunset, all the fun, and the excitement. 4 years, Boracay was known all over the world as a top tourist destination, often landing on the list of the most beautiful beaches. After dark, the island offers endless nightlife hotspots. But environmental problems started hounding Boracay. Blame it on the improper sewage system, overdevelopment, and illegal construction. It is a cesspool, says President Rodrigo Duterte himself.
She will tell you what is the tragedy. Now, during the election I was there, yung basura na was just 20 meters away from the beach. At a distance, you say the cotton balls of Boracay was a white sand. But you go into the water, it's smelly. Smell of what? Kasi lahat doon ang palabas nila. So Boracay, in a few hands there, is destroying the environment of the Republic of the Philippines and creating a disaster coming. There will be a time that no more foreigner will go there because he will have, when he go back to the plane to where he belongs. So I told Simato is a general, he was assigned here. Give you 6 months.
For decades, repeated warnings went unheeded.
I told them, kayo, binigyan kayo na napakagandang isla. Anong ginawa ninyo? Binaboy ninyo. Ganyan ba, is this how you will treat a beautiful place like Boracay? This was 15 years ago. Of course, nobody listened. Why? Because of this piece of paper. This piece of paper in all currencies, whether it be yen, dollar, euro, and everything, is such that is the size of this paper is that when you cover your eyes with it, you will see nothing else. But what happens? May dala tayong basura, gagamit ka ng tubig. Pagkatapos mo gamitin ang tubig, tinatapon natin. Nagdudumi ang tao sa toilet. Pagkatapos ng dumihan ng tao ang toilet, ilalabas yung dumi niya. Di ba? Yung mga pagkain, saan ilalabas yan?
But this time around, no more ifs and buts. The government closed Boracay to all tourists in April.
It's the first morning that Boracay is closed to tourists. The beachfront is virtually empty.
Authorities are carrying out strict inspection at the Caticlan Jeddah Port on day 1 of Boracay's closure.
Ngayon, medyo nagsara nga at wala na po talagang kikitain. Yun ang isang tanong ko, paano na kami?
Katulad ninyo, nalulungkot kami na kailangang isara ang Boracay.
Pinapaubos na lang namin natira naming stock, ay wala naman kaming gagawin yan. Para lang may matira pa kaming pambili lang man ng pagkain dyan. Yung mga apo ko, na 6. Oo, kasi mga nanay nila may mga trabaho. So ngayon, wala rin, siyempre apektado rin. Wala kami lahat trabaho.
I must salute him for his political will. This is long overdue. This should have been done year 2000. Pero lahat ng mga officials, from DO Transport, DO Tourism, lahat-lahat, we will not mention names, including the President. They were all concerned about how many tourists were coming in, bringing in that piece of paper. But it was only that fellow, ng Bisaya, na may lakas ng loob, pinasara yan. Buti nga. He had the guts to close it down. Congratulations. So everybody was shocked. Sasabihin ng iba na it could have been done better, it could have been done slowly. No. When you want to stop smoking, stop right away.
The man in charge of the island's rehabilitation is determined to make a difference.
We're on track, we're on target. On this stage of the rehabilitation, we're concentrated on the road, construction of this new road, widened road, and also the completion of the wastewater, which is really the one that caused this rehabilitation, the cesspool.
A new day has dawned, and it does feel to me like it's the old Boracay again. But you don't have to go too far to realize it isn't business as usual here. It hasn't been since April 26. The government's order to shut down the island to tourists came as a surprise to many residents and business owners. A big shock.
Ay siyempre napakasakit po. Pero okay naman po sa kagandahan, kabutihan ng Boracay. Pero sa kita namin ay medyo mahina masakit eh. Siyempre doon kinukuha yung gastos ng pamilya, mga anak namin na nag-aaral, bayad sa boarding house.
Pero yung mga ginagawa namin na umuwi ka ng bahay, may dala kang pera para sa pamilya mo. Yung mga pamilya mo sa Mindanao, nakakahulog ka sa kanila, nakakapagpadala ka. Yun. Kasi ngayon na parang kami yung humingi sa mga pamilya namin na magbigay ng pera. Yun.
Kasi ito lang po ang inaasahan namin sa hanap buhay ko. Yung asawa ko po, bagong opera. Sa kaya ako lang po, yung ang anak kong 6, ako lang lahat nag-aaral.
Many say there wasn't enough time to prepare. And with so many questions left unanswered, others were angry and disappointed.
Kasi walang bisita darating. Sa bisita lang kami na bubuhay.
Malungkot kasi mawawalan kami ng income, wala kaming sa namin. Mas lalo na ngayon na malapit na akong mga anak, walang ipon.
In contrast to what looks like a serene resort island, Boracay is under construction. Heavy construction, that is. Deep inside neighborhoods, the noise of demolition and rebuilding reverberates.
Nagkumpay po para binibilisan namin para madali matapos.
Workers are cleaning, fixing, tearing down, and building. This is an island in need of help after what experts say were years of abuse, neglect, and decay.
Boracay was declared as a forest land. Therefore, when something is not owned by anybody, everybody owns it. And depende kung sino maraming pera at sino malakas, doon sila yung nakakahawak ng whatever piece of property there is. Di ba? It's not a cesspool. Nobody knows what a cesspool is. It is a toilet bowl which they have not even bothered to flush.
Many residents tell me they learned their lesson the hard way.
Kailangan na po magbago para hindi na po maulit yung pagsara ng Boracay. Huwag pong magtapo ng mga plastic dyan sa daan para po di mabara po yung mga dadaanan ng tubig. Kasi konting ulan ngayon, marami nang baha dyan sa mga kalsada.
Para walang barado po sa sa kalsada. Yung mga dumi kailangan natin i-display sa tamang lalagyan.
Bebot Lachica worked as an all-around maintenance man in one of the resorts in Boracay.
Ganito, araw-araw ginagawa ko, pumapasok sa trabaho. Andito ako trabaho sa Sunset, Boracay Sunset na maintenance. Ito, hanggang doon.
Hanggang doon.
Araw-araw linis ng highway, ayos mga basura, ayos mga kuryente, mga tubig. Dati maintenance ako dati. Ngayon wala nang trabaho. Post forward na ako.
He earns 323 pesos a day, or about 7,800 pesos a month. A lot less than the 15,000 pesos he used to make. But he's learned to accept it.
Pagbabalik ng Boracay, excited kami para makatrabaho ko maayos.
Other residents share the same sentiment.
Ito, nagka-cash for work kami. Walis-walis, naglinis kami dito sa mga beach.
Mang Filemon reminds me of the old saying, you never really know what you got until it's gone.
Sa supper, dahil nga nawala bigla ng bisita, yung hanap buhay lang naman ng tiga rito sa Poca Beach, yung turista. At saka po nung nagsara, may tindahan ka, wala namang bumibili. Dahil nga ang inaasahan ng karamihan dito na may tindahan, yung turista. So ngayon, nagpagsara noon, parang kumaga sa ang laki talagang nawala.
Mang Filemon lives on the northern tip of Boracay on Puka Shell Beach. It's supposed to be the more quiet and less crowded section. The sand is unique, not quite as fine as the rest of Boracay. It's filled with crushed pieces of puka shells, thus the name. Over time, Boracay's hidden gems started to look like the rest of the island. Crowded, food and drink stalls began cropping up. This is the area in Puka Beach where we normally see the stalls that serve food and drinks over here. But as soon as Boracay closed down last April 26, this is one of the first areas that clearing operations were conducted, and all the stalls here, gone. Mang Filemon misses the infectious vibe on Puka Beach. And more importantly, he tells me, he misses his income. Soon he hopes to receive the government's financial assistance of 15,000 pesos.
Mabuti nga po, may DOLE, may DSWD, ang nag-support hanggang matapos siguro ang 6 months closure. So yan ang, kumbaga sa yan ang kinukunan na ng makakain araw-araw. Dapat meron ka ring diskarte. Yung baga sa hindi ka lang aasa sa binibigay ng gobyerno, kailangan meron ka talagang initiative na gagawin mo kung paano ka kumita ng pang araw-araw na panggastos. Dahil ang sabi nila, bago magbukas ang Boracay, sa sobrang daming nakapila, siguro awa ng Diyos maibigay rin. Nung halimbawa maibigay yan, ma'am, yun ang pangtustos namin sa tindahan.
For now, it's a time of reflection. There were a lot of lessons learned, he says.
Kailangan nito, iwasan na magkalat, iwasan na magputol ng kahoy. Ang lahat ng mga kontra sa kalikasan dapat iano na yan, hindi na nila dapat gawin.
Elina Tandog was among the lucky ones who got her financial grant from the government.
Binigyan kami ma'am ng DSWD ng tig 15,000 pero hindi naman lahat.
She spent part of the 15,000 pesos she received to set up this small store selling puka shell trinkets, which are quite popular with foreign tourists. Elina says she's getting ready for when visitors return in October. But her 2 children lost their jobs.
Siyempre walang pera ma'am. Wala kasi nga mahanap buhay. Gumagawa rin nagtatrabaho yung mga anak ko sa DOLE. DSWD.
She says the money is not enough, and the job is limited to only 1 month during the 6-month closure of Boracay. Many of these residents have no savings to tap into, so it's a lot of belt tightening until reopening day. And fingers crossed, nothing gets in the way. Secretary Simatu is appealing for patience. This is just the first step, he says, to the ongoing massive rehabilitation of this once paradise island. Beyond the 6 months, Simatu explains the task force has a longer mandate.
The interagency will work as an interagency task force for another 1.5 years.
1.5 years more.
The life of the executive order is 2 years, and 6 months lang ito rehabilitation. So we will still have 1 year and a half. Then I hope that there will be already a legislation to find a substitute or the one that will take over our effort for Boracay.
The storm shutters are up on almost every beachfront resort on Boracay. It's typical this time of the year. But much of what's going on here is anything but typical. Boracay has never seen anything like this before. An island devoid of its usual vibrant energy. Some resort owners say they had hoped for more time and better planning from the government.
I felt talaga that an island needed to be closed. But first, we were not prepared financially for the closure. Secondly, sana we wish that only the violators would be closed, no?
Left without a choice, some businesses are taking advantage of this quiet time to do some improvements on their establishments.
Nakita nyo na lahat eh. People were already complaining na sobra ng unregulated and growth ng island. On hindsight, I feel na the island needed to rest for 6 months. But ang importante, Pinky, is that the closure will not be in vain.
This is Cagban Port, normally jam-packed with boats ferrying tourists coming in through Caticlan or Calibo Airport. In 2017, Boracay set a record high of 2.1 million visitors. Some say this is an alarming number of people on the island. Year after year, visitor arrivals have been growing. Revenues steadily increasing. Boracay generated 56 billion pesos in tourism receipts last year. There are almost 2,400 business establishments on Boracay, from hotels to bars and restaurants. There's now even a shopping mall, which opened early last year. The government suspended the environmental clearance of all the establishments after more than 2,000 of them were found violating environmental laws and lacking permits. Most were illegally connected to the island's drainage system, intended for rainwater, not wastewater. By doing this, raw waste goes directly into the sea.
So may septic tank yan, pero kailangan mo kukunin yung septic tank. Magli-leak din yan. Pag nag-crack yan, papunta yan doon sa dagat. So, it actually fertilizes the algae. Kaya the last time I went, nakita ko yung algae. Sabi ko, kahit bayaran pa nila ako, hindi ako pupunta rito. At all. Kasi yung dagat puno na ng algae. That means na fertilize masyado. In scientific terms, it's called algal bloom.
Since the April shutdown, experts and government workers have been inspecting the pipelines.
We are assigned to tasks to look for buried pipes. Possible are hidden na nagdidispose ng water, wastewater towards the sea. The second objective is geohazard because we have also the instrument that can look into what is beneath the ground. Okay. Sinkholes, caves, water level. There are pipes nang na-excavate na putol na po sila kasi nalaman nila na may ground penetrating radar. Mayroon naman po na may nakuha na ng sample at mataas pang coliform count.
The government's goal is to get all these pipes connected to the underground sewer line so wastewater can go through proper treatment. Another problem that desperately needs addressing, the illegal structures on easement areas as well as in wetlands and forest lands. As an initial step, the National Bureau of Investigation filed complaints of graft and violations of the Forestry Code and Local Government Code against some businessmen and local officials. The dismantling of illegal structures is ongoing. Local officials tell us many residents and business owners themselves voluntarily did the work. The roads on Boracay are a top priority too. The Public Works and Highways Department has a mandate to complete the widening of Boracay's main road, which spans 7 kilometers, and its circumferential road that's 5 kilometers long. The DPWH says Boracay's main road will be a 2-lane road with sidewalks that are 2 meters wide on each side. The agency is also working on the relocation of electric posts to ensure that there will be no obstruction to the road widening project. Meanwhile, you see here this newly constructed road to Bulabog Beach. It now serves as a logistics corridor for other rehabilitation work on the island.
Kalsada, mukhang under repair pa talaga.
Natapos na po natin yung clearing and demolition doon sa 12-meter right-of-way that has been set and established. And nakapag-start na rin tayo ng civil works actually component ng project. It will cover initially yung first 4.12 kilometers. That will be from Cagban Port, passing through Rotunda, and ultimately mag-terminate po muna to sa just before Balabag Plaza, doon sa Elizalde property. That will cover 4.12 kilometers. So, dalawang contracts pang meron tayo dito in the amount of 490 million pesos.
When we see something like this, sir, baka hindi po maniwala ang tao na magbubukas kayo ng magbubukas ang Boracay ng October 26, sir.
Yeah. We've started already the pipe laying, and yung ginagamit nating drainage pipes for this project is quite new for us, and also this is quite
Those the black ones?
The black ones, those are the high density polyethylene pipes. Na yung haba po nun is 6 meters. Mabilis pong ma-install. Ang mga challenges lang po natin, itong nakikita natin sa daan, nagbabaha, and yun nga, yung mga poste pa ng mga distribution lines and poles natin. DPWH took the initiative na ma-fund bale yung requirements ni Aklan Electric Cooperative para ma-relocate o ma-transfer na itong mga distribution posts and lines doon na sa 12-meter right-of-way. And we have may mga series of meetings na tayo with telcos na sasabayan na rin nila na mailabas na rin natin ng maayos itong mga spaghetti wires na ito.
Okay, sir, also we're expecting, pag maganda na to, 2-way to, tapos meron din talagang pedestrian lane.
Meron pa tayong modest na 2-lane road na within DPWH standards, and meron pa mo tayong mas maluwang na sidewalk on both sides. So that's 2 meters on both sides na meron po siyang pavers, and meron po tayong ground cover. Yung itatanim po natin dito na parang planting natin along the road is anahaw. Okay. And we'll have also street lighting. So kasabay po yun dun sa ating gagawin na road improvement.
Kailan ho yun, sir? When will we see that?
We can see part of it na come October 26.
The sound of splashing waves hitting the shores echoes across the 4-kilometer stretch of Boracay's wide beach. Another day has come to an end. Another day closer to the reopening of this paradise island.